Okay, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to swap out this pickguard with some Tex-Mex fender pickups in it for the original pickguard. So we're going to go through that and let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the strings. I'm probably going to do I'm going to take them all off at once. And this guitar has these locking tuners, and nothing facilitates a quick string change like a locking tuner. So sometimes I just loosen the knob, the knurled knob, and sometimes I'll loosen this a little bit. I like them to be straight, the holes. I like the holes to line up straight, like so. And just loosen them. Give it a little yank. Strings out. That's how easy it is. Okay, first step is removing the strings, and now we're gonna take all the screws out. See here, I use the pickup to hold the screws. I've got a whole bunch of these Strat pickguard screws, but I still don't want to lose any. Okay. Here we go. Okay, what I'm going to do is this pickguard, it has a wire, ground wire that goes to the trem. It has a ground wire that goes to the shielded body and a ground wire that goes to the output jack. So you see there's two ground wires coming off of the volume. So I'm going to cut those where they join. And I'll join the ground wire to it also. And I think I'm going to desolder the positive wire. And I've got a long positive hot, so I'm just going to use that. But I'll cut this about there so it can go off to the three different directions: the ground, the body, and the trem cavity. So that's what I'm doing. Set that there. So I'm going to cut this shrink wrap I got over this solder and see what's underneath there. Okay. So I'm going to clip that right about there. And I'm also going to clip a lot of grounds here. I'll clip the ground. I'll do it about, make them about the same length. And then this ground wire, for later, I'm just going to snip it off. Okay. So now I'm going to take the positive and I'm going to desolder it. I think I'm going to desolder it at the switch instead of here. You can see I got it masked off, because when you solder, you got to be careful because solder splatters and it will melt any finish. It doesn't matter what finish it is. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to desolder that right now. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to get all the wires ready to solder. We're going to just do it all at once. So we'll strip them. Come on now. Strip the wires. Wait. Okay, there's one. Wait. Two. And the trim cavity wire. Last but not least. Yeah. Come on now. I want a little bit more there. Give me a little bit more. Oi, there it is. Okay, so now I got the 3 wires are all ready to solder. So I'm going to fire up my soldering gun. I got my sponge wet, a sponge here. And before I solder anything, I'm going to use some flux on, a little bit of flux on every wire I'm going to solder, even before I twist them together. Because this just sucks the solder right in. It's great. Great stuff. Okay, first we're going to undo the positive on the jack. Okay, and now we can lift this pick guard out and away and bring our noiseless pick guard in. And we got a lot of soldering here to do. Well, not a lot. First thing we'll do is hook up the positive. Come in a little closer. Okay, it looks like it needs to be snipped a little bit there. Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. It's kind of cramped right here. Try to get the camera over a bit more. I don't know if that helps. Okay. Okay, that's done. And let's see if I have any. Yes, I do. I'd like to use a little shrink tubing in here. I'll just slip it over this guy. Might be a little too big of a piece. Not really sure. Let's see what other my selections are. That's too small. This might be too big, but the other ones are too small. So we'll slip that over. Okay, we'll take all these guys. Start twisting them together. Got a lot to twist. These 3 wires here. Add this guy to it. Fingers, don't fail me now. Okay. And one from the pickguard. Last but certainly not least, one big glob of grounds. Okay. Let's cover up that paint. Just sucks the solder right in. Okay. Done with the soldering gun. Woo! Hot! So now, put that over there. Oh, I think it's going to fit perfect over that little knot there. Heat her up. Usually I use a heat gun, but I don't have a heat gun here. So the soldering gun works. Just don't keep it moving. Keep it moving, people. Okay, all our soldering is done. So now I'm going to give you an important hint. Before you put it all together, we'll plug it in and check everything while it's apart. Okay, here's just a look before I test it. You can see the ground wire there that goes to the shielded body. And you can see the other wire going into the hole for the trim. It attaches to that claw that holds the springs. And the other ground here obviously goes to the jack. So it is ready to test. So let's test it. Okay, now we're going to test the guitar, and we have to remember that we have this switch which turns on the bridge pickup in the neck or the neck and mid position. So here we go. Turn everything up. Here we get the, this should be just this. Absolutely. Neck and middle. Yes. Shouldn't be on. And the middle. Perfect. And the middle and the bridge. Get that in there. Middle, bridge. And now the bridge. And we have a tone for the bridge. And I do have a video that shows you, like on a normal Strat. I think I showed it on a Mexican Strat. I forget what year it was, but there's two wires you can jump on the switch that will make the tone work for the bridge too, which it always should have on a Strat. Okay, we'll test this button now for the bridge. It only works in the neck and the mid position. Because, I mean, obviously when you're in the neck, it's on. And when you're in these two positions, it's on. So we'll test that now. Here's the neck. Push the button. There you go. And in the middle position, or in the neck in the middle, now you have all three pickups on. So this switch basically works with the neck and the middle. And it's cool because you can have all three on if you desire. So now we know everything works. So now we'll put the screws in. Okay, we got it all together, and I'm going to clean the bridge off a little bit while it's easy to do. I've decided before I put the strings on, I'm just going to use a little bit of rubbing compound on this pickguard. Just going to kind of, I'm not expecting any big miracles. Just want to kind of maybe lighten up the scratches a little bit. So before I put the strings on, I'm going to get all the tuners, the tuner holes in line with the string coming in. So there, as you can see, the holes are all lined up. Now, because I have the bridge all the way down, it creates an issue. And the issue is, I'm going to put the strings in. So I'm going to see if I can do this. I kind of need something to hold my camera. I'm going to try to stick a rag underneath the trim. This is not awkward at all. Stick this rag in here to prop up the trim. There, it's propped up a little bit. Let's see if that's enough. Okay, now I can stick all the strings through. So I'm going to put them all through at once. Come on, don't right there. All right, I got all the strings pretty much tuned. Now I'm going to stretch them. Okay, you can see on the tuner how stretched they got. It's funny, people don't stretch their strings and then they complain, oh, these Les Pauls don't stay in tune, or all kinds of nonsense. I'll probably stretch them maybe a little bit more. All right, now I'm gonna, because I changed string gauge, I'm gonna check the intonation. It should be pretty close because the string gauge is really close. 8.5 to 40. Now it has 9 to 42. So probably won't need much of any tweaking. Okay, the pick guard's on. The height of the pickups is just the way it was, which is the way I like it, so I don't have to worry about that. If you wonder how high to make your pickups, I would go on a Fender site. Usually they tell you to hold down the last fret and then you just measure between the string and the magnet. If you have them way too close, it'll do some really weird wonky. You won't be able to intonate it. That can do some really weird things. So you don't want to have them too close. And if they're too far away, the signal will be a little weak. The gain will be a little weak. So might want to go to factory specs for that. So we changed the pick guard, relatively easy, not a real big deal. A small amount of soldering was needed, and it was really no big deal. So that's how easy it is. If you like this video, don't be afraid to subscribe and hit the like button. That would help this little small fish of a channel out. I would appreciate it. And take care. See you next time.